Ellie Greenwood with I Run Far, here with Tyler Green ahead of the 2024 Western States Endurance Run. How are you doing, Tyler?
I'm so good. It's so good to be here. So good to be talking with you too.
Yeah, so your 5th year back here. It's become, it seems like, an annual tradition to do the Western States.
It is the annual tradition. I mean, I think, you know, whether racing or not, I think we'll be coming back here for years to come. It's a homecoming. It feels like this community has just become more and more special to me and my family over the years, and yeah, just good to be here.
Yeah, so lots of things that bring you back. I mean, I'm sure it's the competition and the race course too.
Absolutely,
eh?
yeah.
Yeah, okay. So last year you had a really exceptional race. Your second place finish, but considerably at one of your faster times.
Yeah,
hey?
yeah. That was a cool realization, and you know, I think maybe at Green Gate I was starting to think like, wow, is it possible to break 15? Didn't quite get there, but it was amazing to be able to cut off 55 minutes off of my previous time, so I'll take that.
Yeah, I think anyone would take that. So what do you feel helped you run? I mean obviously you've got the more experience, but I mean that's a big amount to cut off your time. So
well, of course, conditions is one of the keys to running a fast time. You always have to, you know, I compete against the people that are on the starting line, and the times take care of themselves. That being said, last year I think I really put myself in it a little bit earlier than I had in the past, and that was really successful for me.
Okay, so you're planning to do the same this year?
I think so. Yeah, somewhere in there.
Okay, all right. So it's interesting you said there, you know, you're competing against the people that are obviously out on the race course. I believe first years being in the Masters category.
Right.
And Mike Morton's Masters course record, what's that, 15:45?
Well, I believe it's 15:45 and 21 seconds.
Okay, so just approximately, right? Not that you've looked at it at all. That is clearly on your radar, it would seem.
Yeah, it's on my radar, I would say. Again, and this is going back to like you compete against the people that are around you on the day, and the times take care of themselves. So it's not, I mean, I guess it's something that's there. It's not my main motivation. My main motivation is to go and race the people that I'm racing against, and like young or old, I don't really care. Like I can race with them, I believe.
Okay.
So let's do that.
There's a few, I guess, new men in the men's field this year. Is there anybody you're particularly excited to race against that you maybe not raced against before?
Ooh,
or
that's an interesting question. Yeah, I mean, the entire field is spectacular, and I've said this multiple times. I feel like this has always been my sentiment going into these races, is like, how the heck do you even run into the top 10 against a field like this? And I found that I've been able to do it, so I have some confidence in being able to do that. And at the same time, I'm just like, wow, what a list of names. Yeah, it's exciting to race against everyone.
Cool. Okay, so yeah, like you say, well, you've had 2 second places, a 4th, so you know you've done pretty well at getting into that top 10.
Yeah.
Are there anything you've changed up in your training this year, particularly that?
Yeah, well, the big thing is that we moved 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So no longer living in Portland, Oregon, though I will say, Rachel and I are definitely repping our community in Portland, Oregon.
Awesome. Yeah.
We moved to Salt Lake for Rachel's residency. And it's been a cool transition there, and has obviously been a significant shift in training and just the geography that we're running in, finding different trails. We had lots of little out and backs, kind of figuring out where our routes are, of like, oh, this doesn't go anywhere, let's go back. So, you know, I have my tried and true like training runs that I would do in the Columbia River Gorge or Forest Park or whatnot, and I didn't have those. But I also think, and I talked with my coach about this, he's like, you know what, like novelty is a really good thing. Yeah. Doing something different can shake things up a little bit, and I think that can be really beneficial for you. Or he's talking to me in this case, and yeah, I think I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that like just excitement of having done things a little bit differently, and I think my body's responded well to that. I've been living at altitude for 3 weeks, which was never something that I had prior to this. So our house is at about 5,000 feet, and coming here is not quite the task that it was when we were traveling here from Portland a few days prior. So excited to give the high country a little bit better go this time.
Yeah, so far you're feeling maybe that altitude, and I'm guessing as well Salt Lake's likely to be a little bit warmer.
It's been a little bit hot.
Yeah. So you're feeling that's going to be an advantageous
I think
change?
so, yeah.
Yeah, perfect, good, okay. And then, I mean, going back, you've run, like we said, 5 Western states. And you're saying, you know, the altitude here and whatnot. I understand when you first started ultras, maybe like a decade or so ago, like nutrition was something you maybe struggled with. Is that something you feel you've now got nailed? Is there anything you do different, you know, on a course like Western States?
Yeah, I've had this kind of way that I used to like write up my race plan, and I've changed that a little bit to be much more like fine-tuned about how much sodium am I getting, how many carbs am I getting per hour. So that's been kind of a fun process. And I also realized like there's really like I used to have my crew bring a bunch of different foods for me, a whole, you know, like basically our own little aid station. And then I realized like whenever I got there, I would eat like 2 things. So we fine-tuned this to where like we eat a few things, or like I bring a few real foods, and I focus on my precision gels, and I know my hydration. I feel like every year is just kind of layering on new lessons, and that's how you get a little bit better. And you know, maybe shave off 5 minutes, and maybe shave off 10 minutes. Those little decisions there can make a big difference.
Yeah, so basically, I guess experience of you've got a plan, but it'll be a flexible plan as well.
Yeah, that too.
So, yeah, awesome. Okay, I've got to point out you have got your no headlamp little pin on there, right? That seems, I mean, is maybe that like your seagull or something. Have you checked the time that you need to run to?
I don't actually. No, that's a good question. I don't know what that actual time is.
You're just so.
No, I saw it and I was like, oh well, this is a badge of honor because I have finished without a headlamp. So. Yeah, maybe it's a little presumptuous of me, but yeah, certainly I think that's a really solid goal to try to finish without a headlamp. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome, cool. And then you mentioned your wife Rachel there, who will be running her first Western States this year. So from your perspective, I guess that's going to be different. Like I think she's paced you in the past or been out crewing or whatnot. I mean, I assume you've still got a crew and you've got pacers that you've worked with before.
Yeah, we have a tried and true crew. We know what we're doing. Again, like I think the layers of just like we sit down and we say, hey, what could we get a little bit better at this time? Where do you shave off 1 or 2 minutes? You know, I crewed Rachel at Black Canyon, and you know, we were like checking our times and seeing how we were able to get 30 seconds or a minute on the people that she was racing against. And I think like my crew knows that is a part of their mission, like that's kind of their way of like getting 2 minutes on the competitor. Anyway, that being said, with Rachel, like I think that it's just so special to be able to go to the start line with her, maybe run. I don't know how long we'll necessarily run together before we just say like, all right, have a good day, love you.
See you at the finish line, hey?
But to have her out on the course and to be just equally excited about how she's doing, I think that will really bolster us both throughout the day.
Yeah, cool motivation.
Yeah.
Okay, well, wishing you the best of luck on
Thank you.
Saturday, and get done before you need that headlamp, Tyler.
Let's hope.
So, thank you.